All right, so the access key that I had configured in my environment was apparently for some other account. Which account? I have no idea. Who's paying for the Amazon Web Services that I'm using right now? I have no idea. But the point was these access keys were not the ones that I was using. You can see that apparently yesterday I did use this key for translate, and we had to configure the permissions and all that stuff. So like I'm not totally sure what's going on here, but the point is I now have new access keys configured in the environment, and so I can go and create a client. And when I create that client, I now get an audio stream as a string. However, what I really need is them to host an MP3 file for me. I have no idea whether they're going to be willing to do that, but you know, let's see whether that's a thing that's allowed to be done. All right, so apparently the response target gets dumped into a file. Let's see if there is an option for so we already know that we want Mizuki. She's the Japanese voice. So let's do that. In fact, so I'm going to copy this into our scratch pad so we can work with it there. Oops. And then done. And we do have the output format correct, it looks like. Yeah, so we have MP3. The format, so it seems like it doesn't seem that there are it looks like so what we may have to do here, here's how we're going to get around this. It doesn't look like there's a way to get them to do anything but return the stream. So what we can do is, I mean, the stupid simple solution to this problem is to get the system to just put this file on disk and then serve it up from there. But I think actually that doesn't work if you have like multiple Ruby servers running, you know, like on Heroku or something like that. What I can do instead is really quickly, just off the top of my head, the thing that comes to mind is No, that's not the right way to put that. Let me go to the Scratchpad synthesized. In fact, I'm just going to do a controller at the top level. Yeah, let's just do it. I'll keep it real simple. So we'll have a controller. Synthesized messages controller, and then do it like that. And then we'll have a show. Now, this isn't going to be super secure. Like, you would be able to do ID, step the ID or whatever you call that, to listen to all the messages that have ever been sent. But I'm okay with that for now. And the solution to that is you have a UUID on each message, and then you reference that, and then nobody can guess, the ID of the messages. But this is fine for now. So what this is supposed to be is the outgoing message. So if we have, what is outgoing message? It's conversations outgoing message. In fact, actually, it's even simpler than this. So synthesized examples controller, because all we need to do, actually, you know what? No, you know what? Let's do it as a synthesized messages. Oh, how are we going to do this? What's the right way to do this? The right way to do it is just to make it work, because that's why you're watching the video, right? You just want to see this thing work. All right. So synthesized example controller, is that? I'm going to say synthesized messages. Let's try this. All right, so we'll do a synthesized messages, and then on the show, we'll say, what did we say outbound message was? Outgoing message, conversations, find. So we have find by param ID, and then we will just do, just to show that this is working, we'll raise. So we'll assume that's great. So konnichiwa, genki desu ka? That's the outgoing message that was last sent. Its ID is 9. So in our controller, we can look at that. And then locally, we need to run our server. And then we need to go to this URL. It's giving us an error. Right, it's raising the message. So now what we are able to do is take our scratch pad. Whoops. It's the body. All right, so still now we have the body. So we'll just do, yeah, we'll just leave that there. Outgoing message, grab the client, and then render data, I think is the way to do this. And then you do, in fact, we'll just raise for start. And then we knew that it's the audio stream. I wonder, string IO, how does that work again? I have to open it? Read, is that right? Yeah, I have to read it. Okay, cool. So we'll do, how do you do this again? Rendering raw data. There we go. Nope, that's not going to work. All right. Oh, whoops. That's a mistake right there. All right, audio MPEG. So that was what I was trying to get there, just so that I have the type inline. Let's see if this works. Yeah, it works. So you can't hear it, but here, I'll just take my headphones off so you can hear it. All right, there you go. So I should be able now to pass this into this route. So this would be the synthesized messages path. No, synthesized message path. And then I can do the outgoing message. Yeah, like that. So check this out. In our conversation, that's the right thing to do. But in the webhook, where we're adding this URL here, what we actually want to do, and this is going to be a little tricky because I don't have the right helper here, but the synthesized message path for the outgoing message. Check this out. This is not going to work. And then, so you always look up using a Rails URL helper in a model. You can see I've been here before. Let's just try this, make sure it works. Works, except it's not a path, it's a URL. And this is going to get a little bit tricky. No, it worked. I must have this already configured in my environment. I must have like a root URL. I'm not going to show my environment because I'm super afraid that there will be a bunch of private keys in there. Not unlike how, I don't know if you noticed this, but right here, when I do that, look, there's a Facebook secret API secret key right up here. And so if you wanted to pwn somebody, you could just go through, watch all their videos, and then capture all the keys, API keys that have been shot across in even one frame. That would be bad. So anyway, the point is I have a root URL thing, I think, set up. And then when you come into our, development.rb maybe, and use like root URL or whatever. Yeah. So I have support an environment variable in here that has a forward HQ host. Now that's hilarious that I called it forward HQ host because I stopped using forward HQ and now I use ngrok. But anyway, you get the idea. This value is set. Oh, in fact, actually I have to update it. So that's I have to update it because this isn't the right URL anymore. So let me do that, and then this will work. I'm going to do that off screen. All right. And what did we say the right URL was? Not that one. ngrok.io. All right, good. So we want it to be that. Give me a second here. Now I got to reload the environment. So I'm going to close that. I'm going to restart my server as well. So I'm going to do, you can always open a new terminal like that and do Rails S in order to get it to load the new environment. But the other thing that you can do, I don't know why that decided to die, but the other thing that you can do is do source bash profile. And that is another way of reloading it. So here we go, server's back up, And we should be able to then see when we do, let's grab that outgoing message. Whoops. We should be able to see it hasn't updated it at all. I'm not sure why that is. Give me 1 second. Yeah, so that's working. Huh. Is this a, let's try this real quick. I wonder if this is a, give me a second here. That's what it was. It was Spring. I had to restart Spring. I guess it had the environment cached or something like that. Okay, no problem. But that means I'm probably going to have to redo this one as well. Let me just be sure. But the point is when we hit this, okay, that worked. So let's close up a bunch of files here. The synthesized messages. We can now, oh man, I closed too many things. Let's see here, conversation, the webhook, incoming webhook, Alexa webhook when it responds. We have the synthesized, oh, here comes Alexa.
I'm not sure.
All right, thanks for that. Just mute that. So it's now passing, so this URL will work. Let's see what happens. Alexa, ask Japanese study tool to have a conversation with me.
こんにちは。元気ですか?
Wow, it worked. So it's a little slow, you can tell that. But let's go back to our conversation thing and update what's being said. All right, so now it should say, Hajimemashite, dozo yoroshiku onegai shimasu. Let's see if we got that. Oh, Alexa, ask Japanese study tool to have a conversation with me.
はじめまして。どうぞよろしくお願いします。
It worked. Okay. This is a pretty long video, but that was something pretty cool I think we just did there. So, yeah, obviously what we were working around was the fact that we couldn't get Alexa to talk Japanese for us. No, Alexa, don't stop listening. Stop listening. All right. And so we used Amazon Poly kind of on our own terms and then pass it back as an audio file. to, make it do what we wanted to do, make it do what we wanted it to do. And then we had to wire it up, to serve up the MP3 file that it had received the data from Amazon Poly. So I don't know, maybe there's a better way to do both of those things. And if I find out that there is, I'll just add, a comment or a new video or whatever and link to it. But I'm pretty happy with how that worked out. So I'll probably leave it at that for today, but we'll pick it up here next time.